Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning. Sorry. Okay, good morning. Can you all hear me? All right.
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So thank you all for joining us for this year International Space Technology Convention. And thank you for staying with us since day one to day two, and today that is the last day that we'll be doing panel discussion. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Rafael Harillo, for being here with us this morning. Thank you, Jose Menaces. Can you unmute your video? Can we see you, Jose?
Oh, yes.
Jose?
Let me turn on my camera.
Okay. Oh, thank you for joining
Hello.
us. Mr. Francis, are you there? Can you also unmute your camera? Let's see your face. Oh, thanks, sir. Thanks, sir, for joining us.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, thank you.
Jen Achava. Hope I'm correct with your name. Is it Mr. or Miss? Jen, can you unmute your camera? Oh, I think you can't hear me. Abiodun, Mr. Abiodun, are you there? Let's see your face. Let's see your face. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's
Hello.
great. That's great. That's great. And Mr. Lucky Kolawole, can you also unmute your camera? Let's see your face, sir. All right. Okay, thank you for joining us. Today is all about panel discussion, and other guest speakers will be joining us during the course of the conversation. But currently, we only have two guest speakers that is available now. Oh, Mr. Kolawole, thank you. You see your face, sir. Thanks, sir. So, in the course of the program, the other guest speakers will join us. So currently now we have only two guest speakers that's available for the discussion. And Mr. Francis will be the moderator for the panel discussion. Thanks, sir. So Mr. Rave is a space lawyer, with more than 20 years experience in the field, both in business and aviation. And Mr. Jones is a 3D modeler, and mechanical engineering, if I made a mistake. He's a professional in that also. So I think we can continue with the conversation like that. Mr. Francis, the floor is yours, sir.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. Yeah. First and foremost, it's nice to be here. It's good morning from Nigeria. I don't know the part of the world whereby you all are. I don't know. I can just yeah. So it's good morning here in Nigeria. To be precise, this should be few minutes past 10. Yeah. So I'm Francis Adedeji. I'm actually an aerospace engineer, but I'm more into the educational part. Like I'm a lecturer, so I lecture. Um, here at Fabiola University here in Nigeria. So that's just basically what I do. But my major research interest is in guidance, navigation, and control of autonomous systems in order to be able to, um, navigate its way and achieve its mission objective, irrespective of external disturbances or constraints, and also the implementation of using AI and machine learning in order to able to make this particular algorithms very better and actually be smarter, right? I'm also very interested in the use of like large language models, LLM, together with deep learning and neural networks, in order to be able to understand how systems more like a natural language processing, NLP, how actually compute this particular thing, because I believe that the era we are, that's more like the edge we're going to. Technology everywhere, this particular actually taking taking space, right? So to get right on it, I want to appreciate each and every one of you for staying with us from day one up to this very moment, right? Apologies, I've not been able to come into this particular space because I've been busy with lectures here and there, right? But it's a pleasure to meet each and every one of you this grand finale, right? So, Mr. Rafael or Professor Rafael, I don't know how best to Dr. Rafael. I don't know how best to 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 interact with you. You know, like I said, this is just my first time coming to this meeting. I've not been in the conference, so for the beginning of it, I know they actually have a wonderful discussion, more like in terms of your space law and also looking at the international agreements, right, of space trajectory, maintaining all the particular things, right? So I don't really know, like, just more like to help me to also like be on the same page, right? Like just more like give me a little overview of more like your interest and what you do personally, and how it's when I go from there, I can be able to like see how it can flow from there. Thank you.
Yes. So, thank you. Well, it's all the presentations that during all these days was made is very, very interesting. I have space lawyer. I'm working with both companies and also with public administration. Also, I am in a very direct relationship with the people. They are doing things real with companies that prepare from little CubeSat to big constellation, or including the Spanish company who is developing the first European launchers. Well, I am in very direct contact with the people as you there make things. Normally, all the day I talk with engineers, with people, because I made the legal part, but also I am inside the developing business commissions, and they are working together with the people to make. For a lawyer, it's easier because I can help mutually for prepared contracts, projects, plans for the future. This is one of the part of my job. By another thing, I am also in contact with public administration and government for regulatory affairs. For me, it's an advantage because as I work directly with the companies that they are real make things, I can translate to the public administration what is the real need. Because for me, the international space law, the big treaties, something like this, they are very interesting, but it's necessary to have a direct contact with the people to make things, because if not, it's more theoretical and they are not real position. For me, I work in both sides. This is very, very important because you are helping a company to prepare a launcher, but you are study with international teams who is the best option for to develop activities in the moon, what is the best option for observation of the Earth, because it's too different if some people make for national security, or another's made for have the control of if they are a lot of rain, if they are problem for natural resources. Normally I talk a lot of natural resources in space. It's nice. In space is very good, starting to work with natural resources, but in the Earth is very important for some countries. They are rich in the natural resources, have this satellite capability to explore and to arrive to develop this. Also for me, it's a very practical use of the space law and the space activities, because all the days is working together with real things. For this reason, I was enjoying a lot these 2 days hearing people. They are developing a lot of interesting projects.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Rafa. I really love that. Yeah, I think one of the major things I would love to ask is more like, assuming a company want to be a startup, like a startup company, right? And maybe from my understanding, more like I believe that Josh is more like Jose, like Mendes. I think you're into 3D printing, Josh, Jose.
Hello.
Yeah, Jose. Yeah, I think you're into 3D printing, right? But
Yes,
what are you into?
yesterday,
Yeah.
yes, yesterday I talked about that because it's a tool, yes, that you can use for in my case, yes, in my case, uh, hand in hand with 3D modeling. So it's a good, we can say it's a good way because you can develop a fully prototypes. Yes, you can define, you can create. For example, let me show you a practical example. Yesterday we are talking about the use of practical examples to to try to understand better my field of work. So basically, in this presentation, for example, we can use 3D printing to test the structures. In this case of a CubeSat, yes, we can use the 3D print for a structure. Maybe these little companies, sometimes you can emulate the size, the real size of the internal components or electronic components. And the other key factors is the integration or the co-workers, yes, co-workers, the work between several professions, in general mechanics, engineering electronics, something like that. So yes, it's a kind of tools that you can use and develop potential technology for aerospace sector.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really get that now. Mr. Rafael, like assuming like there's more like a startup company, right? A company that's more like about to enter into the space business of the space world, right? And we have people like maybe like Jose, trying to like build these 3D printers for more like aerospace application, right? And in that particular beginning, on that elementary stage, where do you think the like as your part as a lawyer, right, trying to like interact with the company, like how do you come into more like a company that's about to just launch into space business and just doing like little experiment, more like what Joseph is doing, building models and whatsoever, and trying. So I really want to know how you can come in such a scenario and maybe like more like maybe find a possible linking to possible companies or actually place social media. Like how do you nurture space companies like from their like incubation stage? I really want to have like something like that.
Yes, from experience, the most important is to have a very good idea, because there are a lot of people working with the space system, space applications, developing a lot of technology. And if you are a real good idea that this is so different, this is one of the key points. Second one, obviously, is the question of the investors. Here, for example, in Spain, always the people say that they are good companies, they are waiting for investors, because the only country with a real high capability to investor is the United States. This is a different model, and they are more money for more companies. In the rest of the world, including Europe, especially for example in Spain, it's too difficult to arrive to the money, because the governments have a limited amount of money for space development. In Spain now they make an effort, but this is a short effort. For private investors, the most interesting thing is that they need to understand what you are doing, because more of the people, they are money in the world for invest. For example, it's very easy to invest in a hotel, in a restaurant, in a factory of cars, because it's something very well known. All the people know what is in an hotel. You building, you have people, you win money. But would you explain the space technology is more difficult to access to the capital? It is very important to be clear to capture this. And one time the company have capital and have also local government support, because in all the countries there are some organization, Ministry of Science, Space Agency, something like this, is the question to progress and to have a very wide contacts. Is very important. I talk with not only with company, inclusive with the space agency. Is very important. Something like this we are doing to be open in Congress, workshops, talking with a lot of people, because it's the key point for to contact. At present, I have some hardware, for example. I need investor, and other people can have contact with you. I believe this is the three main strips. A good idea, good relation with investor for to develop the company, and also have the support of the local authorities, and working in the next World International for to know what is the projects in the people they are involved, because a lot of companies that they are little companies, if they meet with agreements with another companies, they are more possibilities to develop. For example, I know the situation in Africa that using the African Space Agency, they collaborate some countries for make something that probably each country alone is not possible. It's the same case than Europe. We have the European Space Agency and we're working together for make bigger. This is a correct way. And also this space agency can collaborate with the private companies to develop projects.
All right. Thank you so much. I really get it. Yeah. I don't know. Jose, I really want to more like have an understanding of more like your models, like your 3D modeling for sustainable development for space, right? One of the things I actually want to more like is there actually a particular problem that you are actually trying to solve with your models, or is it more generic, or you're more specific to a particular problem you're trying to like introduce this particular tool to bridge the gap or to solve? I don't know if you get that question.
Okay, for particular solution of some particular problems, yes. Sometimes the tool are the cornerstone, yes. The tool, in my case, yes, the 3D tool allow me to develop from generic idea to a specific idea. It's all about the needed that you need, the needed that you have in the development of your product. We can say that the aerospace technology is a product because you start from an idea. You have the idea, you need to make the project, yes. You need the money, you need the time, you need the effort of all your team, yes. But it's all about the need of the project. For example, in the aerospace technology is very, very specific and precise because you need some parametric dimension. You need that for example, your structure of the CubeSat has fixed dimensions. It's very precise. So in this case, we can say that the use of 3D modeling tools allows to develop a very, very precise products. But for example, in other fields or in other stage of the development, we can have a more wide, how to explain, we can tolerate more error, yes? But because we are in the initial phase, but meanwhile you advance in the progress of your project, you need become more precise, more effective.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. I believe that there are actually some models that you come up with that is more like unique to you, to yourself. And when you bring that particular models to life, more like you're trying to like patent it, more like it's only your signature that's in it. I know that it can be something, you can do something like that. Okay, this particular model is unique to me, and I actually want to take ownership of it, right? I believe that something like that can exist, can actually work out. Is that correct? Yes. So, Mr. Raf, now, as a lawyer, right, and I actually have more like a model that is unique to me, and I patent it, right? So, as a lawyer, how do you come into able to like ensure that particular model is actually patent, like only know to me my signature and everything, or is there? Or do you think that a lawyer can actually come into that particular space to make that particular happen, right? In that particular space. I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, no. Working with model, for example, Jose was explaining the case of CubeSat. CubeSat is the example of a very successful idea. There was more in the California University. One of the fathers of the CubeSat, it was a Spanish. Jordi Puigsuari, and they thinking about, okay, we can make all different things, or we can make a standard. At the case of the standards is very important because for a lot of companies, they can develop different things, but with the same structure. This is a very good thing because, for example, for the people to make rockets, they know the size of the interface for all the customers. It is easier and they can promote more activity. If each company make a different model, it's necessary to have more adapters, more job for working. This is a good example that with the standardization of a system, a model, is a very good idea and give more opportunities a lot of companies to enter in the space business. And this is easier. I was yesterday afternoon working in the launch contract with insurance, with some, well, it's easier because they are more models, more standards, that they are the normal for both parts. And you can only check that they are inside in the list, not prepare all the documents. For the part of a lawyer, I always explain that our task is help the companies, not put more problems about the negotiation. It's at the same when I have the idea that we need more regulation in some fields, is regulation for to help companies and countries to develop space activities, not for to have more bureaucracy, more problems that if you are an idea, you need a list of a lot of things. It's very important that all the legal question as private as public help the companies, because the product is very hard. It's very difficult to launch things to the space, go to the moon, exploring. Technically it's difficult. If you put more problems with money, okay, we need money. Money always is a problem, but with money, with regulation, with contract, no. We need to help companies to develop a space. And for this reason, I always explain that our task is help, not to put problems about the space. All the situation, the models and standards is a good idea.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Rafael. Right. That's actually very straight to the point, right? So now I more like ask a question, more like now that we are having more space exploration, and in the coming years there will be more than one nations, maybe like claiming like having landing site on the moon, to be precise. Let's just use the moon as an example. And we have issues whereby, we talked about resources here on Earth, that some nations actually have natural resources and they actually claim ownership of particular resources. Now, when we get to like space exploration, right? Now, how do we regulate, or are there rules or laws that actually regulate in terms of resources found on the lunar surface, and how those particular nations, how do they now interfere? Like, is it going to be the case of the first nation actually discovers it, takes ownership, or there's a more like regular law, like, okay, it's a no man's land, right? Then every other particular resource we see here, we share equally, or is there any space law that actually guides that particular constraint? I really would love to know that. Yeah.
Well, the question of the space resources is one of the most popular questions today in the space law, because from some years ago it's more theoretical, but now it's a real thing, because the process started in the United States with the Asteroid Act, that they give the authorization to American companies on the American law to use space resources in the space. The international community say, well, this is a national law that is for international things in space. Is not a treaty, is not an agreement, is unilateral things. A lot of people say it's not possible. What is the real things that they are American companies that probably they are in the near future capability to do it? They push his government to have a legal base. After the Asteroid Act, some international organization study the question and say, well, they are not a very clear legal articles talking about, but well, it is not forbidden. Also, is possible. International Institute of Space Law, the age study about the space resources. Well, they say that this is possible, and now they are a workshop in the COPUOS, in the United Nations Space Office, that they are working about. But what is the real things? After the United States, Luxembourg in Europe make the same, a national law that gives you the opportunity, if you are a company in Luxembourg, for to develop activity in space resources. And after Luxembourg, they are Emirates, They are Japan, 2 months ago, Italy. They are agree with the use of natural resources in the space. They are 5 countries. But by another hand, the Artemis Accord, this international policy not binding agreement promoted by the United States, they are, of course, agree with the use of natural resources. And they are 48 countries signatories. And at the same way, the organization of the China and Russia, the International Lunar Research Station, they are more than 10 countries and another 10 international associations. They are agree to use natural resources. Well, they are now maybe 60, 70 countries agree with natural resources in the space use, and this is relevant. What is the principal problem for not to have an international treaty about this? Obviously, the geopolitical situation. The real problem, they are in the base that not more countries approve the Moon Treaty is because, say, space is for all, and space is for being all the humanity. What is this? We can share. So, some people invest money for go to the natural resources and after for to share. What is the concept of to share? Share information, share acknowledge, share money, pay taxes. And this is the real problem because all the countries have the right to go to the space, and the space is from all humanity. But we need to establish mechanisms that all the countries with independence, his economical capability or real capability to access to the space can participate. This is one of the reasons that a lot of countries with any space capability, they are signatures of Artemis Accords and ELRS Accord because they have an option to participate in any way of the use of natural resources in the space. This is one of the most conflicted situations because at the final, the facts should be very important. The first people to arrive to the moon, remember that the first natural resource to use, and the most important, is the water on the South Pole. Because with the water, we can maintain the space base and starting to develop a space economy. Without water, we don't make nothing. After that, we can talking about regolith. I advise some companies that they are the idea to use the lunar regolith in situ for create bricks, and with the bricks create infrastructure. They are a second level. And after that, obviously, the people, they are thinking about go to the asteroid for platinum, gold, something like this. Well, this is faster, but the first question is the water in the moon. And what should be the mechanism for share for all the countries, and very intelligent part that give more opportunities to collaborate and to arrive. But this is a very, very important question. You say is now a real problem and a real concern about the natural resources in space.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafael. It's actually a real concern and a very real issue because I think I was in a conference, in the Space Resource Week, and in that particular conference, a particular company was actually trying to exploit, they're trying to create solar panels with more of the crystals from moon, right? So they're actually using like some of those particular things from to create solar panels because it's actually going to give like more of energy. So they actually plan of making the moon more like an energy resource center. Can actually help them to like generate more energy and more power, you know. And we also know about the theory of more like it's possible that when we are going to Mars, moon can actually be a particular place where you can actually more like from moon to Mars. So it's more like from Earth to the moon. Then moon will actually be the launch base to go to Mars, whereby we actually use more like the methane in Mars, so to like prepare our propellants that actually drives our particular rocket from particular moon then to Mars. So these are like one of issues, and we actually get issues of more like space mining, whereby they actually like mine space, right, and stuff like that. And there are many other things there and stuff like that. So it's more like a major concern. I know that the international community should be looking into. You know, we all know of Elon Musk now trying to move down to Mars and trying to colonize Mars all by himself. Now, if you're able to achieve that and colonize Mars, like Now, where are the laws, government, that okay, the space is for all. It's not just for you can't own it. You can't be the owner of Mars. It's for all, But it's trying to build the technology to get people there and colonize and actually owns it and stuff like that. Right? So it's more like something that need to be looked into, and maybe like international bodies, communities, able to have this back and forth and able to come to an agreement, right? That okay, these are the laws, this is what should be done, and stuff like that. Right? So it's a very nice one, right? Now I don't know. I've actually heard of the case also of maybe like an asteroid coming down to Earth, and it gets a household or a particular like a farm, a nearby farm, and those particular families claim ownership of that particular asteroid. Now I don't know, like are there laws that actually govern like foreign bodies entering our space system, like entering the Earth atmosphere, and then get to this particular environment, like is there a law that any strange body, any strange space body shall enter the system, but like asteroid, meteorites, if they come into the particular Earth, who owns it? Who owns it when they come here? Is it the farmland that it lands upon, or is the government of that particular nation? I don't like who owns some of like this type of space, like who owns those type of things? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, the question of asteroids is very particular, because obviously if the asteroid is in the free fall to the Earth, they arrive some country, is property of the country, but the problem is that during their re-entry they burn, and they are not. For the use of asteroids, probably the best idea is to catch in the space little asteroids, because remember, when we move movies or what TV documental, all is very slowly. No, slowly, it's very fast. And the International Space Station is 27,000 kilometers each day for 90 minutes. All in the space is faster. Faster they are, the risk of collision is very destructive. Also, the idea for the work with asteroids is obviously to catch them, little asteroids, and the orbit with control for no burn and loss the similar, or catch them and use them in orbit in the concept in space manufacturing and assembly. Probably the most interesting idea is to catch an asteroid and remain in orbit for working to the asteroid to obtain interesting materials and to do controlled return to the Earth, because if we make a direct re-entry, we lost. We can use the orbit of the Earth, or including for safety, should be very interesting, make the same in lunar orbit, catch them, put in lunar orbit, and working with the asteroid. Who is the owner? Obviously, who made this capture? If it's a private company, that one of the countries that they are national legislation, United States, Luxembourg, Emirates, Japan, and Italy, they can do it with national, but this is signatory of the Artemis of ELRS agreement. Also is possible. They are a legal coverture. This is probably the reason that a lot of countries, they are involved in these international agreements, because the final is question of technology. One American company that make space mining, they catch the asteroid for working in the space or to return to the Earth. They are not problem by his part, because they are national law, they are international not binding agreements, and they are working in the United Nations to establish an international group. Also, for legal question, they can do it at this moment. The problem is the real capability to do this. At the final, this is the question, the fight between the countries with real capability for do it, because the country or his companies can do it, the rest of the companies the rest of the countries without companies to do. And also always they are political question, because I remember where they starting the first debate about Asteroid Act. I remember in an international meeting in the International Astronautical Congress, I I remember was in Beijing several years ago. A lot of South American countries, they talking about colonization, the space and use for privative. They are more political terrestrial things that we can put at the same level with the space. For this reason, we need to have a step by step for to do correctly the things.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafael. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's actually I get it now. Like it's legal for the culture to do that particular stuff, but long run they have to catch particular thing to use and stuff like that, right? All right. So I would like to add Mr. Jose some questions, right? And one of the questions I would like to ask you is more like now I don't know what are more like the challenges that you actually face or you have seen so far in terms of implementing this particular 3D tool, modeling tool, in terms of actually like solving like space sustainable development. Like I don't know the challenges that you actually encounter, or things that actually like more like it's more like an entrance, like just as an obstacle, right? That's not actually able to penetrate the market as it seems. I don't know if there's something you want to share with us. Yeah.
Okay, the most challenging part here is it's interesting because it's not the same the 3D tool by itself. The 3D tools is only a tool. The real challenge is when you try to bring to the real life the project. Yes, for example, the use of materials, the selection of the materials. Because if you you can use a very strong material, yes, for example, carbon fiber or something like this. But the challenge is the materialization. It's the fact that you need to join a capital. You need to join a money. You need money, yes? So, tool, you can use it in the way that you need it. But the real challenge is trying to bring to the real life the project. So, some minutes ago, Mr. Rafael, he shared a key point is the standardization. The standardization allows make a product, a standard product. You can build here in South America, you can build in North America, in Europe, in Africa. You can build it in any part of the world, but the real challenge is like try to join the capital, the economy, yes, the money, the money. This is the more challenging part of this industry.
Yeah. Money is really challenging. You know, to get investors is usually very key. Is a very key issue. Every problem is a money problem.
Always,
And
always.
Yes, all the time.
Exactly.
always a money problem.
For example, I make class with alumni about the space law, space something. Say first of all, show me the money. They are money, we can do it. If not, it's not impossible to develop any program for a company or for the government. It's very important to that the people know what is the relevance of the space activities, because this attracting a lot of investors and can give us the opportunity to develop markets in the earth, obviously, but also in the space. And they create a lot of very number of the jobs, very qualified. These people that work in the space is people that pay taxes, they buy houses, buy cars, is move the economy. Is the part of the money that we can expend in the space is only the fuel of the rockets. The rest of the thing, the money is moving in the economy and they create more wealth. It's very important that the people understand that this is not expend in the space, it's invest in the space and to create more better situation, but for companies, obviously, but also for countries. What is the reason that a lot of countries need to have a satellite constellation communication, health observation, including to have a natural disaster or help to the security, defense, control of borders? There are a lot of activities that all the days we need. Each day, all of us use more or less 100 satellites for different things. For this conversation, for to take the car for going to shopping, to have news in the journal about weather, something like this. We are continuous using space technology. And also, obviously, they are space exploration, science is very amazing, but they are a very direct relationship of all life, of all the people, all life with the space activities. For this reason, a congress like this is very important because open more possibilities that more people they are in contact for talking about the space activities.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafael. Thanks so much, Jose. Now, I think the major question I want to ask Molecular, so how can we leverage, right? We know money is a problem. We have a money issue, money problem, right? So how can we leverage like what we have to be able to get what we want? Now, money is what we want, right? So how can we leverage what we have to get what we want, right? Like Joseph now, okay, you have your models, right? You have your models already. Now, the money is what we need to be able to like print it out. So how can we leverage that particular model to be able to like allow the money to still flow in to be able to produce that particular product? I don't know if you get that question. So more like, what are the ways of actually leveraging like the skills, the talents, our resources, the local ones we can see around us to allow this particular money to be able to come in? Like, I would love to hear both of your responses on this particular issue.
Well, in my opinion, money likes to have more money. This for private investors, but also for institutional investors, governments. And governments, they are now maybe in all the countries, the main customer of the space activities because they can use a gift service of his nationals. This is another interesting thing that all the people they are involved in space activities in some countries need to talking with authorities for to put an evidence that the space activities is very relevant and to have the opportunity that the governments at the different levels put more money for develop space companies because at the final this use of the space is an advantage for the people to live in a country because for investors, invest in the space, in the aerospace in general, is long-term projects, including now that we are talking about new space, that this is the short time that the traditional satellites, for example, in Spain, the authorities were prepared during the 12 years a satellite for health observation. Today, we can make this in 9 months. It's a different change, but it's necessary that the governments take consideration that working with the space is a very good thing for the country. This is very relevant and give the support with security to the investors that, okay, put the money in the space industry. It's not a short-term wine. It's a long-term profit for the companies, for the countries. And this is very important because it's a change of mentality. In the United States, there are more people with money that have this capability to put money in the space industry and wait several years for to have revenues. It's not question to put and the next year to have the money. No, for the space is very important long term, and for long term because money they are afraid about risk. Is very important governmental support. You put the money, government support you, and you are very happy to working. But if the government is not with you, the companies is a very high risk situation, money always they are afraid. For this reason, public-private partnerships, they are very interesting option in a lot of countries because join the capability of some companies with the support of the governments for working together for help companies to develop technology. For more countries, they are not a lot of capabilities, should be a very interesting option because they give these facilities for go ahead with projects.
All right, thank you. Jose, I don't know what you have to say concerning that. All of your input.
Yes, basically, I can add that the idea when you develop a product, you need time. One big resource is money, but the second big resource is the time because it's an iterative process. Yes, Mr. Rafael spoke about the time. For example, in the case of Spain, 12 years. Now you can do it in 9 months. But in the process, when you develop a product, there are some activities, yes, that you don't know how to do it. You learn in the process. You learn meanwhile you are doing the same thing over and over and over again to get the expected output. Yes. So I can add that the second major resource is the time.
Yeah, time. All right. Yeah, that's that because we've actually have issues whereby we have issues whereby we more like have like people actually have the particular solutions, the particular problem, right? Which have really taken time to develop a particular problem, right? But now them reaching the market, like reaching the particular they actually need that particular problem becomes the issue. Now, it's not because they don't know how to sell their product, actually sell, but maybe majorly because the people that they are selling to are not buying the idea, like they are not the one for it, or they don't even understand it yet. Like they don't even have that particular perspective about it, right? So, so we've actually seen this particular issue now. So, I would love to know, like, if, like, from Mr. Rafael's point of view, like, can a lawyer actually step in that particular place to more like to seal a particular deal or contract? If he actually that knows his or her onions, like knows the particular space law, space industry, space treaties and the rest, and you're actually trying to reach out a particular space complaint, you know they have it, you know they need a particular thing, but you're unable to penetrate the particular market. Is it possible for, like you said, a lawyer's job is to help you, to help you to be able to make things better for you, right? And not to, make the problem a particular issue, right? So is there a way, like, even with your expertise to come to a particular situation and more like reach an agreement or more like penetrate the market for such a client or such a complaint?
Yes, for a lawyer that work in the space activities, it's very important to have a wide concept about what is the international law, because at the final, we're working with different companies in different parts of the world, make international contracts that more they are real new contract. They are created in the last year for private launchers, for insurance, for what can do service from space. It's more different to have a service for in a country, in a city, than a service of telecommunications, for example. These lawyers actually with the space activities is very creative job, because you need to adapt older ideas, because here, for example, in Europe, we are thinking about Roman law, and the Americans is another system, but at the final we need to adapt to know what they are, the different mentality of different countries, of different companies. This is a very creative, because you need to adapt your task as lawyer to the real thing. You're working with a Spanish company to put a satellite, using a German company to work with American launcher company. You need to know all these points about this. And when you are in contact, for example, with the China rocket launchers, of Africans or South American people involved in the space activities, for us it's very important to have this sensitive and the possibilities to know what is they are the real things. When I was starting the study lawyer, one of the most interesting things is to study diplomacy. They are now the concept of space diplomacy, because at the final, when we're talking about the space activities, we made in the space. Space is international law. Space is international relationships, including when you are advising a little company that prepare a CubeSat for going this. You act in a very international. You need to be in contact with more international organizations and take care, because the decisions in another countries can affect your tax, including if you don't have under the law of the American people. All the people repair ITAR question, what is the rules of FCC about the orbit things, including you are a very powerful country, you need to earn the difference. And also for working with the different countries is very rich experience, because you learn about talking with the national companies, with the national authorities, and at the final, I always say that all the people they are involved in the space activities, they love so much the space things. They are, maybe all the people love so much working in the space. You can talking about another professions, and you can, well, okay, I am make an architect because my father was architect, something like this. But the people they are all together working in the space love so much the space activities, and we need to take profit about this mutual concern. Probably between us, they are more capability to make an arrange that with another people in another field of activities, because we love so much, we understand the difficulties of the work in the space at the real profit, no economical profit, the real profit to working together in the space activities for all the human people.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think we have two people that joined us just recent. I think we have Mr. Robert Edward. Mr. Robert, how are you doing today? Morning, sir. Yeah, I think he just dropped off the meeting. I didn't see it. And I think, okay, yeah, I think we also have Dr. Samaski. Yeah, I hope I got that.
It is Dr. Srimati.
Thematic. Okay.
That's right. Yes,
All
Ross.
right. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. It's good to have you join us in this panel discussion. Yeah. So yeah, so far so good. We've been discussing about space law, more like the law part of space, and also more like the tools for development. And Mr. Jose and Mr. Rafael have been discussing and talking up towards things, right? So it's good to have you. How is
Thank
it
you so much.
I believe you're in India. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Yeah. So I don't know if you can just run us through. Like I also told them earlier, this was I was not around for the very first 2 days, right? So just really run us through about what you do, your interest, and more like your field. So more like guide me in this particular panel section discussion, because we are all discussing together. All right.
Sure. So hi everybody. Namaskar, Vanakkam. This is Dr. Srimati from India, and I'm a space entrepreneur, more so a space mom, I should say, because that's what most of the children, well, even MARVECX calls me mom. So because I think I started working in space in a decade where space was not really very popular among children in India then. It's almost like about a decade ago, a decade plus years ago. And, so I initially started, the same excitement to take children to the research centers like NASA, ESA, and GCTC. So I almost took about 3,500 children to all these research centers. And I was super excited that we are initiating that, or rather igniting the minds of younger generation. And we did not realize when we started that, space is going to have such a boom in the world. And that's going to be the next big industry. But I think one thing I always believe is space is something very divine. Not everybody enters into this domain. You have to be the chosen one to be in this domain, be it even space education or spacecraft building or anything. So after that, I thought, it is nice. Subsequently, I thought, we're doing too many things going there. What about the children from the humble backgrounds? If you do not have money, that means you will not have a thirst to learn all this. It's not their problem, right? So being born humble. So I thought we should do reverse engineering. So I brought everything to India. I said, let's do space education here. But then I wanted to build a miniature version of NASA so that every child gets, a first-hand information there. But still, I'm working hard on that because it needs huge funds and everything. Meanwhile, we started building satellites. And I think I can show you a couple of satellites that we built. Yesterday, I did show them during my speech. We built a 1U, then we built a 3U, then we built an 8U. So from Femto, we built the world's lightest and first ever 3D printed satellite that went up a NASA Stereo Orion. It was a suborbital mission, of course. So we've done about 27 space missions until now, and everything is through high school and university students. They started off with high school. They came to me. They are my team with about 12 children. And today they are into doing their PhD. And, together we evolved. And, we've gotten to all these validating the subsystems and everything. In fact, the recent launch on August 16th, we built a lightest separation system. Because generally, when you want to send a satellite, the deployer itself is very expensive. And you have to pay for the deployer also for the launch. So, our team of youngsters built this lightest deployer, which was validated in our small satellite launch vehicle that ISRO had launched. So similarly, we are just working, and my passion or vision in life is to advocate for girls. So I bring in as many girl children to work in the space industry, and our satellite, which was called the Azadi Sat or the Freedom Satellite, we built with 750 rural girls of India from all the states and union territories of India. We handpicked those children. We taught them the basic nuances of space, electronics, coding, everything. Now that was a super success, and today I can see proudly, I can tell you, there are so many girl children who want to be scientists and cosmonauts, fighter pilots. I mean, these terminologies, I'm feeling so proud and happy that I was able to do something like this, and God made me an instrument to do all these things. So when I see these children, so I thought this shouldn't be the end. There should be a bigger role that we should collectively play. So now bringing in about 108 countries together, 108 children each, which means to say 12,000 girls from humble backgrounds, high school children. We're going to be educating them online the nuances of building a spacecraft, and that spacecraft will be injected into the lunar orbit, because moon and girls are always in sync, I should say. So every time a girl feels that something is impossible, if she looks at the woman, she knows 12,000 girls could do that. So I can do it. So to give that hope that I can do something that is ultimate, and to feel, and not only that, to kind of develop their skills. We are kind of giving them little, about 120 hours of education we intend. So we've onboarded about 60 countries as of now. So we need another 40 more countries to start this. And by January, we want to roll out the education. Subsequently, in August, we will start building the spacecraft and doing the testing and everything. 2026 September will be the launch. So praise God. So I want to from everybody. So we will be launching that, and I'm super happy to be sharing that here with all of you. Thank you so much. So this is Dr. Srimati Kesan from India. I run this organization called Space Kids India. And kids would be with a Z and not with an S. Thank you, Francis. I hope I've given my introduction.
Yes. Thank you so much, Doctor. Your energy, it's so wonderful, it's so contagious. All of us are like we're blown to the moon, right?
Thank you.
Actually, you actually spoke about some things that we've actually been discussing earlier. And one of the major things you actually spoke about was one of the things I think was like the space, entrepreneur. And we've been talking about money. We've been talking about money problems here. Like anytime we talk about space, we're talking about money, funding, right? And it's always a problem for everybody. So now, so far so good, we're able to integrate like 102 countries together, bringing 40 more, these kids, NASA building things, space rocket launch in 2026. Now, my major question to you is more like, as an entrepreneur, like when you're about to enter your field, how were you able to generate funds? How were you able to bring in money? How was the cash flow coming in? I don't know if you're just more like, because more like now, we have a situation whereby I have the solutions, I have the idea, but I'm trying to penetrate the market, and the market I'm actually finding like more like difficulty to penetrate the particular market, and I need those particular money to be able to allow me to be able to bring my ideas and my designs to life like a product, right? Now we know Jose does 3D modeling, designs for space application, does more 3D modeling. Now, he has designed particular models on his system now. Now, we actually want to now bring them to life, those products to life, right? So the challenge now is more like the finances, the funding to bring those particular things, the machines, the 3D printers, the old equipment, the carbon fibers, the filaments, everything is a lot of challenge. So how do we pump in money? How do we get money? What's the best way from your experience now, your expertise? How do we get the money?
Very honestly speaking, Francis, from the decade before, or I should say, I'm a generation before you. So that generation, we had more issues being an entrepreneur. So it needed to be bootstrapped. So when we built these satellites and all that, we had to research as to what are the components that can actually have, you have to see a matching component or a sensor. That is where your research plays a very vital role. Because if you are very, very insistent that I'm going to use gallium arsenide for my solar panels, it's very, very, exorbitant. But instead of gallium arsenide, can I sit and research and see if there are any other solar panels which is 10 times economical than the gallium arsenide? That is where you succeed. Okay, so it might take, so money has been a challenge always. If you see in India, when a girl is married, you get jewelry and all that, right? So luckily, though I was the only woman founder in this whole space fraternity for so many years, who's done all these launches without an engineering background and all that. So I have so many people, backlashing me. But for me, even if I'm not an engineer, I know kitchen science plays a very important role in your space science also. So it is how deep you do research, and you're able to, go in for alternate, methods of, procuring your sensors and everything. And well, of course, bootstrap our company. I could use my jewelry for the best purpose for that. So that way, being a woman was actually beneficial. Being an Indian woman was beneficial because our parents give you that little jewelry so you can actually mortgage that and get money out of that. So that way I survived that, because initially nobody trusts you, nobody gives you money. And in a spacecraft, you cannot do advertisements. In India, people give you even 1 rupee, but you need that logos in that and advertisement and all that. So it was very difficult. But then we started propaganda when we built the light to NASA. That one breakthrough, 900 media covered us. In fact, we did not have a lab. We used, it was a suborbital mission. So what we did was, the spin test we tied it to the fan. Boiling water, we dropped it for the tensile strength and see whether it sustains, the structure sustains. As soon as we finish it in our boiling water, then I wanted to put it, we put it in the freezer to do the freeze test, drop test. We did everything in the terrace, in our terrace. because it was so expensive. You know, one thermovac test costs 7 lakhs in our Indian money, which is exorbitant. So we did alternates for all that. But for orbital launches, it is very difficult. At the same time, now if I have to see, if you have a good idea, a good projection, there are so many accelerator programs. And especially in US and in Australia, people are really wanting youngsters to come up, give their ideas, and they are happy to fund you. They will put you in front of 100 VCs. They will take a share, but they will put you through, you know, in front of 100 VCs where you need not go and search individually. So actually, you are at a better generation now. Everything is at the reach. You just need to know how to go tap it. So being a space entrepreneur now, well, of course, if you are talking about ROIs in space industry generally takes 5 to 7 years. You cannot have an ROI immediately. But when we do, we are working on with students and all that. So what we do is we build payloads for universities and school students and all that. So we are able to make money in that. So these are the allied ways. Science is one and education in one. So we bridge both together and we are able to make the runnings and everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. I really like the way you actually, explain those particular things to us, like try to bridge towards the VCs.
Yes.
They will put us in front of the VCs. They will have their own share, right? But we all know that we have to just match it out and also to think outside the box, right? Okay, I want to ask, like, in your implementation and your companies, right? Though I have questions from the audience, I'm going to be asking them later on, but just to ask a question, I want to ask that in your implementation, right? Do you more like how are you applying more like 3D modelings? Like, do you use more CAD designs in your infrastructure? Like, do you actually implement it? And when you implement your CAD designs and your 3D models, like what has been the effect on your production?
One moment for me, Francis. One moment for me.
All right, no problem.
I wanted to show you the model. That's why I'm trying to just bring that model to you. Azadi sat kuda. So what we did was 3D modeling, was very, very popular, I should say, until a few months ago. But now people are looking at the normal, regular CNC because of the precision, not only the low cost. 3D model, of course, this is what we did. This is the Kalamsat. This is the 64-gram satellite. We built, and this was launched through NASA Stereo Orion. Okay, so this was 3D printed with composites. And initially we had these composites issue of bringing in composites and all because the composites were available only in Singapore and Dubai and, Europe, so we had to import. The sensors also for us, similarly, we had to import it, from US and of course, UK. So for us, what happens by the time it reaches your hand, the cost is escalated triple the times. So when we built this microsatellite, this is a 8U microsatellite built by 750 rural girl children. So when we did this, everything was, we initially planned for 3D printing, but even one small error, we need to go reprint it again, which is going to take time consuming. Apart from time consuming, it was extremely expensive. 3D printing has still not come into the normal, budgets and all that, economies. And so it's little expensive. Wherein if you do a CNC, at least even if you are able to, have 2 or 3 iterations, your pockets are still, okay, we can bear this. But so that is the reason we are not going into 3D a lot. Though, of course, the final, if we are able to print it with precision, that's the best because not a 0.1, I don't think there is any error or anything in that. And it works in absolute precision. So 3D is very good if in case you have the money for it. Because we have Agnicool, there is one rocket company that is printing the entire engine in 3D.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Right. That's it. Well, like I was even about to ask about maybe Jose. She more like about the cost benefit analysis, more like of 3D models, and maybe like now trying to print it out. I don't know if you can just tell us one more things about it, because from you're telling us now that 3D printing is expensive, right? Because you've been on it, you've worked on it, and say it's actually expensive stuff like that, right? And
yeah, see, because
I don't know if just you can actually tell us something like that.
For this size and with composites, it is okay. But when the size increases and everything, when you have to do metal printing is very, very expensive. So that's why we came back to the, normal, regular CNCs. Traditional method.
All right. Traditional method. All right. But just say, I don't know if you can just say one or two things for us in that particular regard. Like, what's your own point of view with that, with what Doctor said?
Whom did you ask, Francis? Did you ask something? I didn't. Was it for?
Mr. Joseph, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Mr. Joseph. Okay.
Is there to unmute? Okay, let me unmute him.
Well, I like to appreciate so much the enthusiasm of the Dr. Kessen, that they put in valor. One of the most important things is that to help the young people to create interest about the space, because at the final, I told him before, for all the people's engineers, scientifics, people involved in projects, management, including lawyers, is very important, the task that you made with young people. I remember when I was very young in primary school, I made rocket creating powder that at house is a very incredible things, but all the people create, and is with independence. What is your formation? That you are doctor, you are medical, you are lawyer, you can working together in a space and activities, as you say, that this is not only for engineers, because I am not engineers, I am lawyer, but I am a space lawyer. I working together, and this is very important for in each countries government support that the young people access to the space studies and access to give the opportunity, because at the final, these should be the same people that after that create companies in his countries, and they can help the government to have these public-private partnerships, and to one little project for students should be the project. I was, as a client, a company that when the founder start, they are 15 years. We need to wait to make the full age for go to the notary for create the company, and now they are developing a company with more or less 15 people, and they are 20 satellites in orbit giving service, and they are starting like a children. We are waiting in the notary that his mother car arriving, because it's a real children, and now this is a businessman, a young businessman that develop with short money, develop up a space company with the support of family, friends, and folks. That this is the original people for more companies. And now they are the support of the government, they are investors, and they are great. For this reason, the task with young people in any country is very, very, very important, including there are some documents about the space strategy in defense and security that they put relevance, that open the box, and give opportunity to the young people to give ideas about defense situation. All the people thinking, oh, defense is very serious. It's only for senior people that because it's security reason. No. It's open the box that for young people, probably they are more interested in ideas and new ideas about the space. They can participate not only with the seniors. Working together, senior people and young people, is very important for the development if in each country of space activities, of space business, they starting to work not only in a space company, also for the young people, they are in the banks. Few months ago was the first time here in Spain a bank put money in a space project, because normally the banks they are afraid about to put money. Is for a mortgage, for something, it's okay, but for space they don't understand the business of the space. And only few months ago is the first time in history a Spanish bank put money in a space company. And now they are open eyes about more possibilities, because before this, they are only government and investors and funds, but not the normal bank we have in the corner. And now banks, they are thinking, oh, this is a real possibility to collaborate in the real business and a real company that do things. For this reason, it's very important, starting with young people, to create the collective idea that the space is a real business, is developing, is to help each country, each company to develop. It's a real task. Congratulations about this.
Thank you so much for saying that, Mr. Rafael. Yes, thank you so much. See, that's the reason we're not a complete commercial entity. We work on CSR funds because, the children who come to us and learn, they are there, they grow for 10 years and now move on to build their own companies. But we love to develop more and more children, give them the right kind of direction, right kind of exposure and everything. So that's the reason I'm handpicking girls everywhere. Of course, we do have Nigeria also. And we have probably MARVECX. Can I will give you the list of countries whom we are actually looking for partners to, women leaders, basically, because this is completely a woman mission. So I would share the countries that we require support. If you can share it in turn with Mr. Rafael, and if they can see that there is somebody there that he can nominate or recommend, then that would be great. If you can do that help for me.
Yes, India have a very interesting space program, obviously for the gift service to the Indian country with health observation, but also they are lunar mission, Mars mission. They are preparing a capsule to launch directly from India resources, Indian astronauts to the space. Europe is waiting. We can go to the space with America, with Russia, with a lot of people, but we are waiting for develop a European launcher and a space capsule. This example, because the final technology is so good, but the astronauts, the people that personally go to the space, is very intensive for the people. For an example, now in Spain, after several years, we have 2 astronauts, a man and a woman. They are very proactive in the give information, they participate. They are a lot of followers of people, the young people that like to be astronaut. And obviously to be astronaut, you need to study engineering, technicals, a lot of things. This is a very, very good example, a good opportunity for some countries that to have an astronaut give more publicity and more support that a lot of documents for politicians. One people that put the helmet and go to the space is a very strong, powerful way to have more people working in the space at all level, public level, for investors, for companies. At the final, the presence of one of us in the space is more relevant for the space industry in this case.
In fact, we are actually the 12,000 that I mentioned just now, Mission Shakti Sat, we are actually going to be crash landing on the moon, trying to crash land on the moon. And from India, we're going to be launching it from India.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Mr. Rafael, thank you over there, like for doing your lawyer duties. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Doctor, actually, there's a question here I would love to read out for you from the comment section, and Abiodun was asking that you actually ask something about organizing, looking for countries to collaborate with you. And she was more like asking like, can Nigeria also benefit from that particular, can they participate from that your program or your project? Yeah, the one you're actually
yes.
Looking for collaboration.
Sure. Whichever country, whichever country she is in, you can share the details. And this is for the age groups between 14 until 18 years of age. We want to catch them young, and that is the correct age, high school students with little understanding and everything. So if she is in that age bracket and if she belongs to any of the African countries, she is most welcome. I will put her to the country coordinator or the ambassador, and she can participate.
All right, thank you so much for that. Okay, so more like to, this is another question that's more like if someone wants to become an astronaut, right? What's more like the best pathway to go over it, right? Especially for people from underdeveloped countries, right? More like we are coming from a rural environment, a rural that is naturally more developed, right? So what are the constraints? So how do you think one can actually grow to actually become that, an astronaut? Like I dream to be an astronaut, right? And then some other things happen. Maybe your country happened to you, or your mission happened to you. So how do you think we can develop and stay able to achieve our goal and our aims? Yeah. I don't know if you have any advice for us on that.
This is for.
I believe it's for you because you are the doctor. I am not.
It's for the doctor, but it's also for everybody, right? Because I believe that Mr. Rafael, like you have the experience and stuff like that, right? But let the doctor go first, because let the doctor go first.
Okay, it's an interesting question because I will show you a picture. I'm just looking where I can show that picture to you. See, being an astronaut is a fantasy.
All right, that's zero gravity, more like microgravity. Experience some microgravity down there. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I wanted to be an astronaut. I know after getting into the space industry, the more you touch rockets and satellites, it automatically develops within you that you want to go to space. So I know it's very, very difficult now, because if I'm going to start training now and everything, I think it's going to take at least about 5 to 10 years. So no patience. Then I thought, what is the best way? So I found the zero gravity, opportunity, and I went to the US to do that. I'm the first woman from India to do that. So I'm extremely happy to do that, to at least feel, 2G. 2G itself was so much. The pressure was so much, Yeah. The breathing, it's very, very difficult. But I think it's an out of the world experience. How many ever times you ask me to do it, I will do it. So that's the reason I found how exciting it must be for Sunita Williams and all to go there. Of course, people say she's stranded in ISS. She's not coming back. She's got health issues and all that. But, I don't believe that, because they are trained hard. They're trained at least for 5 to 7 years, and this is her third mission. So, it is actually so good to be there in space doing so many things, because anybody can be a doctor, anybody can be a physicist, anybody can do all that. But, very few have that grit to be an astronaut. It's not easy to be in a limited space with everybody. So psychologically, physically, you need to be so strong that you can connect with everybody and be cordial and live a beautiful life there, So it's very, very difficult to be a cosmonaut or an astronaut, but I think that's the best that anybody can ever do. And in India, we are actually having 4 trainees now who are going to be going to space very soon, and they've seek the support of US. Of course, SpaceX to launch the first. I think Axiom Space is, the partner, And they are, actually supporting this one astronaut who's going to be representing India after, so many decades. I should say at least about 6 decades before, we had Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, who went from US soil. He went as a cosmonaut in the US and Russian partnership. He was blessed to be the only Indian until this date to be a cosmonaut. So now our Indian government is looking at more astronauts and all that. And possibly in the next decade, we'll have a female astronaut.
It's so good. No.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Ra.
Yes,
Yeah.
in my opinion, to be an astronaut, I was a very good relation with some astronauts here in Spain. I know Sunita Williams too. Now they are in the space for each month. They are starting for each days, and they remain now commandant of the International Space Station for each month. I know Michael Lopez Alegría is a vice president on Action. This is a good example of a private company that create a private space station, but also they are create a corpus of international astronauts. They are not involved in ESA or NASA. They are astronauts for a country that obviously pay for a ride to the space and don't wait for internal development. Also, this is another model of business. Arrive with a private astronauts to the space. And what should be for to be an astronaut is to be very good in your job, because several years ago, to be an astronaut, you need to be a military pilot of the United States of Russia. No more. Now it's open for engineers, scientifics, doctors. For some people, they are a minimum of health for go to the space, and you can be very good in your job. You can be geologist, you can be biologist, you can be pharmaceutical. And now with the capability in the next future to have 4 or 5 space stations and including a base in the moon, we need more astronauts. And they open the door for more people. But the key is to be very good in your job. And also, after more or less 2 years of training, we can do to the space. Another thing is the space tourists, is the people that have the possibility, if they are money, to go to the space. Yesterday, Blue Origin meet again, and the suborbital flight, including the Yara couple, they are the second time go to the space. Obviously, they are a lot of money. Is another option to be rich and go to the space is fantastic, and go to the space for twice this. This is more interesting. But for the young people, and including not for the young people, for all of us, the question is to have a very good job that can be used utile in the space and work so hard. And obviously training. For example, I am private pilot. I make a scuba dream. I make a lot of things that give you more possibilities to be an astronaut, that you remain in the seat to be watching TV. It's very important also, and Dr. Sur, they are okay with me. The character is the brain, is the capability to join with people of worldwide, doing another countries, working together, because space is so different to the Earth, to a very hard mentality to go to the space. This is one. This psychological thing is also very important for go to the make a suborbital flight is not necessary, because this is only a few minutes. 6 months in the International Space Station is more. 1 year in the moon need to more requirements to collaborate with people. And a trip in actual time to Mars that probably should be 2 or 3 years need that the people have a special brain and a special psychology.
Yes.
It's very important. It's so hard to be an astronaut, but always that some space agency claim for astronaut, they have thousands of people who like to be astronauts. It's a good thing.
All right, thank you so much. Jose, so what's your own advice to us?
Oh yes, about the Well, I want to talk about the future, of the space technology. I think that the key point here is the collaborative work, yes, because we need a multidisciplinary profession, yes, to bring to the real life the ideas. For example, the Dr. Srimati, okay.
Thank you for
She
clapping.
was talking about the education of the young people. I think that this is important because that will be the future of this kind of technology because we need people, we need uh, uh, professionals, yes, that have a good knowledge about that. What is the needed? What need uh, this kind of technology? Yes. So for me, for my side, I think that the collaboration is a key point. All the people that can involve in these kind of stems is important. Obviously, we need the money. Obviously, we need the time. But if you don't have people interested in that kind of activities, we don't have innovation.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that, Joseph. Okay, now, so I think Joseph, there was especially a question I was trying to asking earlier that I think maybe due to network or whatsoever, we couldn't more like do justice to it. And my question was more like now, from your point of view now, like more like the usage or the usage of the applications of 3D models, right? 3D models designed and also 3D printed in space applications. So from your own point of like, where are you seeing the future? What's the future of those particular 3D applications, 3D printed models? What was the future
Okay.
in space and whatsoever? Yeah. And
Yes.
also putting in mind that some people have the opinion of more like it's very expensive, right? So the cost benefit analysis and those particular things. I want to,
Yes, it's a little critical because, well, some minutes ago I was muted. I cannot talk, but I want to talk about that uh, we are talking about the use of, in this particular case, for the use of 3D printing in the technology, aerospace technology. But there is a challenge. Yes, there is a challenge because when you try to use this, something like that, 3D print CubeSat in this case, yes, you can use the 3D print for prototyping, yes. But if you want to put this in a rocket, will be broken because the force in the moment when the rocket is launched to the outer space, the G-force are so higher. So basically, if you use a plastic, something like that, will be broken. You need to use aluminum, for example, the standards. In the earlier of this session, we are talking about the standards, and the standards is very restrictive with the use of materials in the aerospace industry. He mentioned the use of aluminum. Maybe you can 3D print aluminum, this kind of frames in aluminum, but it's so expensive. So basically, the technology we can use it, but it's all about the mechanical exigence, the mechanical requirements of this kind of technology. Obviously, it's so higher when in the moment when the rocket is launched to the outer space, but I think that this is a good starting point using this kind of technology, for example, to try more like educational purposes, because maybe this is not a fully functional. If you make of plastic, obviously it's more cheaper, it's more easy to get in your hands, but to the real use is complicated. But for educational purpose, we can use this kind of tools to spread the idea, fomenting the mind of the young people that this is important area to work, or maybe you can use it to give to the peoples a tool that he can use in the future to develop other kind of technology. This is a widespread idea.
All right, all right. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much for putting justice to that. Yeah. So so we get that now. So now I don't know if any of the panelists, Mr. Ralph, Dr. Jose, have questions like for each other or something like just want to more like share with us or something like that, right? Like maybe you have questions and whatsoever. Just for doctor to know, Mr. Raf is a lawyer. He's a lawyer, and he's talking about space law, international law, right? I was even about to ask you that even in your more like your organization, especially the one that actually launching, like this particular place, like, do you have a lawyer? Is there a lawyer component to it? Like, where does the legal team comes in? I don't know if you have a legal team and where do they come in, and if the legal team comes in, so more like I want to know from your own point of view, like, do you have a legal team and how do they come in terms of your day-to-day activities and stuff like that? I don't know, doctor.
Yes, we do have a legal team because that's very, very important. And especially when we are doing international projects, that is global projects, when we are bringing 2-3 countries, there is a huge space diplomacy that, plays an important role. We have to see if, we have any bilateral issues. So many things. And even the space policy in India, they are building now. So regulatory activities and everything with regards to space, because space should be used as a peaceful frontier. You cannot have anti-satellites and all that. So that's the reason there are a lot of policies that need to be regulated. And everywhere it's people like Rafael who are coming there and saying, this is what you should do. This is not supposed to be done. So yes, we do have a legal team. We have about 3 of them with us, and they take care of all the regulations and everything.
All right.
It's very important. Now in Spain, we are starting the last year, we create the Spanish Space Agency. Now, sorry, now we are start to create the Spanish space law for space activities, space strategy, that we are involved during several years in the space activities, but now we are starting to develop internal things with multilateral and bilateral agreements. As Jose explained before, human resources, the people, is the key of all this history. Obviously, money is important, but before the money is the people. And the people involved in all the different branch of the space activities is the most relevant engine to move ahead the the space activities.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks so much, Mr. Rafael. Thanks so much, Doctor. Thanks so much, Jose. So, so I don't know now if there's any question from the panelists, or like ask myself. Like, I think I don't know if anybody have question.
I think I have.
Okay.
I have a question.
All right.
Oh, thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it. Okay, my own question is that, and based on your past experiences, I'm asking this. I'm throwing this question to Rafael, Mr. Raven, and Dr. Sramatik Kazan. So, based on your past experiences, what do you think? What do you think about the future of Africa in the space industry? Based on your own observation, what do you think about it? What do you think of the future of Africa in the space industry?
Well, we know that actually the space industry in Africa, they are different level, because it's not the same. For example, actually Marruecos, they had a deal with the France to give a constellation of satellites for all Africa, but they are starting with Morocco collaborating with France. South Africa have always more presence in international fields. International African Space Agency, they are working for that all countries can put little things for go ahead with projects. The future is very important, because Africa obviously need not only that international service of space, they need to have some independent sovereignty about the space resources from Africa, for Earth observation, for control, for developing technology, for to give opportunities to the young people in Africa, engineers, scientists, that to develop in his country these capabilities. By one side, it's a problem not to have more resources for make space, but by another, it's an opportunity, because there are a lot of things to develop. In this way, I was answering a question about astronauts. Probably international cooperation is one of the ways for go ahead, but also Africa for all the countries, but also for individual countries, is very important to select what should be the partners for go ahead, thinking about his national interest, not the international interest. I'm talking about this because, for example, in Africa and South America, there are more participation of the American and China to attracting countries to his orbit using the space activities and give more resources. Well, this is good. This is to share experience, but countries need to valorate what should be the best way. Not only if they receive a lot of money for a country, they sell the soul to another country. It's important to have national strategies and continental strategies because they are resources. The most important resources is the people. People thinking, the engineers, obviously, the economical resources and technical resources is important, but the people with ideas can move and can achieve more goals. And this is very important that the CISOR in each country that can work in and make collaborations about this. Spain is a country that this is a medium level, is not a superpower, but they are create this relationship with different countries, in Europe with Americans, supporting national industry, give more opportunities. That should be an example that obviously, the case of the United States is very special. China, for political reasons, is very special. Russia, but for the rest of the country, France, for example, for the first moment, have a very important space policy and space strategy to put France first in front to the rest of the country to develop national industry. And other countries like Italy, German, and European, but should be very, very relevant because always, if some countries in Africa are starting to have, I know that here in Spain, there are different nucleus of space activities, and representative of Catalonian region in the north of Spain. I was a meeting, I believe, two years ago in Nigeria, or to approach possibility of business. This is another option. Always share, acknowledge, participate in international meetings, in the international symposiums, and give these opportunities. I was explaining the first day that in the meeting I was in the Milan 1 month ago, our representative of Kenya say, please, working with us to develop a spaceport in Kenya. Well, this is the idea. Participate in international forums, live the hand, and talking about the rest of the countries to working together in projects.
All right.
Correct. Absolutely agreed. I'm so happy. Congratulations for the Spain National Space Agency. That's very nice. Very happy to hear that. Thanks. Spain is only predominantly for football. We are hardcore Spain lovers. Now we have an ambassador, Rocio. She's a STEM engineer from Spain, who's the ambassador for Mission ShaktiSat.
Yes, this is, for example, this is a good example. I know that I work very beside to the Spanish Space Agency. Now there are a lot of interest to collaborate with, not only with ESA and Americans, also with the different countries. If we know that, for example, the Indian ambassador in Spain is very proactive and they are engineers and they love so much the space, well, should be possible to arrange a meeting
that will be good, Mr. Rafael, if you can just help us.
With the director of the Spanish Space Agency and ambassador to open opportunities to collaborate between Spain and India.
Yes.
Something the things are starting here in a meeting like this, to people talking about, take the phone, please, take the embassy, please, when they take the director talking about, make a meeting in Madrid, make the next meeting in Delhi, and if it's possible, starting something. Shoop, go ahead.
Yes.
they are more people and companies, they make a mutual agree, and they are starting with an initiative. This is the kind of things I explained that we need to do.
I think we both can do that. We can initiate the, the whole process with India and Spain.
Exactly. Please call these men. Well, yes, I was talking them. At the final is more easy, and some people talking about, and the process is starting with only a call. After that, they are a very real thing but the starting is only two friends in a bar talking about something and go ahead.
It has to be that fast. No documents, no.
I have the experience talking with American people that we made more commentaries because it's better to make an email or talking about about this, because if we need to have a legal binding with Department of the State, FAA, NASA, Ministry, go here to the Ministerio. At the final, we spend a lot of time and permits, something. No. It's easy to have a call or send an email. What are you thinking about this? It's okay. No, yes, I'm talking. Go ahead, because the correct way is only for real things that we need to make a treaty or something like this, because we need to more faster. And
yes.
The best way is this, to have meeting with people that if they need a relation with a country. I have a friend in this country. You can working in this? Yes, we can put. It's easier. At the final,
absolutely,
is to give more opportunities to move things. And after that, the politicians make his job. But we need to push all these things.
This is your answer, Francis, for what you ask for funds and everything. There is no stopping now. It's your idea, it's your creativity, it's just a phone call away,
Yeah, a phone call away. All right. But the major challenge at this part of the world may be, who do I call? I think that's the next question that will come to our head. who do I call? Because, and I think that's one of the reasons why programs like this actually works, right? More like we see people of like minds, understand the same thing. We can be on the same page. And like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm up to. So it's more like we're actually like trying to bridge that particular gap in terms of no matter where how far you are from the world, it's like a networked space to more like bridge everybody together, more like a network environment. So everybody trying to get to key to one or two things and able to learn one or two things. Oh, they are into the other day. So it's more like a support system. So that long run, like, okay, so assuming tomorrow now I have a particular product upcoming and I'm coming to Spain and I need to, so a lawyer to check the product. I know I can call Mr. Rafael. Oh, Mr. Rafael, I think I'm coming to Spain right now. I need to do one or two things to set up. And that was really good, nice. I want to need some particular model. Okay, I have the model, I have everything designed, or I can't conceptualize it, and I just want someone to conceptualize the model for my 3D printer. I just call Joseph. Oh, Joseph, I have the particular design in my head. Can you just come to the mobile for me? And we actually have that particular thing up going, right? Or actually have more like maybe in a few years' time, actually going to have more like a baby girl, And I was just send that down to India and to the doctor, okay, oh, doctor, please train this girl from to be an astronaut, right? Down there to the space and have the space train and everything. So it's more like it, right? So it's more like everybody coming together, and that was more like that's one of the major reasons why we have this space where we actually come here. Everybody taking is our own time from is our business schedules to able to like come and actually honor the invitation, to able to like to know what's going on in other people's life or other people's work. Because if you are confined to your own space, you will not see what's actually going out there. So we're also able to network, to see what's going on out there. It's more like, okay, conferences like this, we come together, we know the latest updates in town, we know what's actually working in the world. So we'll not actually keep ourselves in this particular local terrain, we actually go international, right? And we actually learn one or two things and stuff like that, right? I wish I was a lady right now. I would have just joined doctor in a space program and everything and stuff like that. But it is, man. I love the way I am right now, and I love my gender. We love ourselves, right? So I know that the space law is still something upcoming. I know we have the space law department. We have clubs right here in Nigeria. I know something that is still upcoming, right? Because the government are not seeing the necessity of driving the space policy, right? Though they're actually making like connections, but like I know of a particular department making the connection with a particular country in Brazil, to be able to like send some astronauts here down there to the moon and also making like connection also with NASA, training our students and everything. So there's this synergy coming up gradually. I know that with time now, the country actually be more like in the forefront of like space exploration, fighting for this particular thing and stuff like that in years to come, right? Because right down here in Nigeria, we have talented young minds, right? And maybe that is why you actually saw that particular question earlier, that how can I be an astronaut in a developing country with constraints? So we have talented young minds, and thank you, Mr. Rafael, talking about international collaboration, because that is one of the major things that we need, right? To be able to collaborate internationally, to be able to move on that particular place, to be able to like connect with people, network with people, to be able to actually to bridge that particular gap at that particular space. So so far, so good. I think it has really been a wonderful conversation with each and every one of you. Even though I was waiting for the very first 2 days, you made me feel at home. It's more as if I didn't miss anything at all. It's more like, okay, now I know a lot about space laws. I know about the treaties from countries. I know about how to really go about. I know now for a fact that lawyers are meant to help you, to make life easy for you. Know for a fact, meant to help you. So if I didn't know that before, I took that as a take home, right? So I know for others, I'm meant to help you. So it's not every time we actually avoid lawyers, because we might say, oh, lawyers are not our friend, right? They're always looking for our money. But obviously, we all know that everyone's looking for money, right? Money is the issue. What is the problem? Everyone's looking for money, right? So one of the things I learned. And so it's actually nice collaborating with everybody, right? Yeah. So I think in the chat, someone's asking the way to contact every speaker. So I don't know if you can just drop your LinkedIn, if everyone can just drop their LinkedIn address down there or something, or email, we can reach you out on. So I keep tabs, with each and every one of you. So I think that's it from my own end. And so it's a wonderful session. It's nice to be the moderator, to ask questions, to Antonio Jose. Thank you so much. I really love your presentation. Thank you for engaging with us. Thank you, Mr. Rafael. Thank you, Dr. Samati. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. For your time, for your passion, your drive, your love, and you're trying to allow multiple people like you to be around, right? I think the best legacy we can always make is more like having a replicate of ourselves, a replica of ourselves. If you are good, create someone that's as good as you are. So when you leave, you also can live in a replica of yourself also behind. Now actually drive the world to be a more better place, right? I think that was one of the major things that actually happened, right? In our history books and in the scriptures, still about Joseph. Joseph created multiple Josephs. So it was more like everybody was able to see that, oh, wow, okay. So Joseph left, people were still able to make things run, keep on running. So it's more like the country see prosper. Egypt see prosper because there are multiple Josephs also left. So it's nice to be here. It's nice to be emotional for this panel discussion. In case there's no other thing, I will never leave the message on to the host, right, to address us, and we move on from there. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for your invitation.
Section.
Well, that's my WhatsApp number. I would really appreciate if you can just quickly say a hi on WhatsApp, and we can say, we can just keep connecting and moving on.
Sure. Okay, thank you all for joining us. Mr. Francis, such a wonderful job. Bueno, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, Francis, and great job, MARVECX. Year on year, you do this. So bringing people together, that's very nice. Good luck and God bless you for all your dreams to come true.
Amen.
And Joe Smith, I've already pinged, and I think you've shared your LinkedIn, so I've just requested for a connect. Mr. Rafael, I would be extremely happy if you can share your WhatsApp number. I'm already there.
Perfectly, thank you. I hope I thanks a lot for to be invited to participate with all of you. I have the possibility to talking about all these interesting. I hope to have in the contact and develop future things. And was a very, very amazing initiative. Congratulations.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you. Oh, Dr. Srimati. Hope I'm right.
Yeah.
I could remember anytime I message her, she would say, my son. My son. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. Like, seriously. I could remember when I went to when I want to host the program, I mean, I want to make use of Google Meet before for the program, but I'm trying to subscribe, but the thing is not going. I don't know. So I tried to reach out to most of my friends. They are unable to do it, resolve it. That was how I now messaged Dr. Shimati that, can you help me? Because currently I have much with me. I don't even have any money with me at that moment.
You don't have to mention all that. You don't have to mention all that. We are all human beings here to help support each other. That's all. So no, don't mention all that. Okay.
All right.
We're all doing a wonderful job. Let's do things together. That's all. Our human race is to do things together.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
God
thank
bless
you so
I don't want to say again. Thank you all
Okay.
for joining us. Mr. Rafael, thank you also. I can remember I was supposed to host the program around June, but because of some certain circumstances, I'm unable to host it. That's all. I called him to come out and talk on Space Law that time. So and I told him that I'm canceling the program. He said no problem, but anytime you have another program, you can call on me. So I now reached out to him for the ISTC and said that it will be available. I was so wow. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Raf. Mr. Jules, thank you also for joining us. Thank you for joining us. All the participants that have joined us also, thank you for staying with us. It's such a wonderful moment. And also, over the coming year, we have more of this program that will still come up. It's not only conference that will come up, it's not only convention that will come up. We have some webinars like medicine, like business and everything, every area. It will cover all area of the aerospace industry, technology industry, engineering industry. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So I don't know if anybody have anything to say. If you have anything to say, you can unmute your mic and say it. Mr. Joshua, I noticed. Mr.
Thank you so much for your invitation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your invitation.
Thank you. So Joshua, thank you for joining us. Princess, thank you for joining us. Abiodun Peter, thank you for joining us. Thank you all. Thank you all. I think, I don't know. You can say.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the time and the effort you put into this program. Thank you very much. I look forward to join you anytime else. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, it would be good if you can, share the contacts of everybody so that we are all in touch. That's very important.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care and God bless. It was wonderful meeting all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rafael. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we call it? Oh boy, we thank God. Can we call it a day then? Thank you all for joining us. So ISTC.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So till next year. Let me say till next year like that. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Have a good day.